inductions, a special night for you. And I'm very pleased and I'd like to thank Franklin College and the Helm family for the opportunity to talk about one of my friends and talk about my teammate, Dan Helm. My task is to make sure that when you leave tonight, you understand the essence of Dan Helm. Certainly, that smile you can't get away from. You also can't get away from the fact that as a player, as a teacher, as a brother, a son, as a friend, he made an impact on a great number of lives. Certainly, halls of fame are great honors, and induction into these things are about accomplishments on the courts and in classes and out of the classroom. And I think as the ideals that have been proposed and put forth by our alma mater, Franklin College, when you think about Dan Helm, and when I think about him, I think he embodies those ideals of the balance between the body and the mind, and the service to mankind. Dan, at one point in his career, wrote a note to a friend, a fellow educator, and said that his life had been filled with an attempt to balance both the body and the mind. And I would say that he certainly accomplished that. He was a graduate of Ben Davis High School, and in spite of the lack of coaching from Hall of Fame inductee Steve Whitty, he still managed to prosper as a player. He was an all-county selection at Ben Davis, a Hoosier Scholar recipient, and he applied those academic and athletic achievements here at Franklin College. And at Franklin College, I had a chance to talk to Coach Ed Thompson yesterday about Dan's induction and talked about the recruiting. And Coach Thompson told me that he recruited you. You were the key in Dan coming to Franklin College. He wasn't certain about you, but he was certain that without your help, Dan would not have come to Franklin College. And he wanted me to thank you again for being able to do that. At the time, Franklin College had not had winning seasons in quite a long time. This is back in the early 70s, and I think we'd had 2 straight winning seasons when Coach Thompson came in. And Dan was one of those transformational type of players. He was a young man who literally was the key to turning the success of the basketball team around. And I think you could build a compelling case that the arrival of Dan Helm made an impact in the basketball community in the city of Indianapolis and in the state of Indiana. And his exploits on the floor are somewhat well chronicled. When he left, he was a 2-time most valuable player. Number 2 in scoring all time. Number 2 in rebounding all time. And if you stop there, that gets you in the Hall of Fame. I mean, let's face it. He was also a Goaltender's Clutch Award winner. Franklin College made 3 consecutive appearances in the NAIA District 21 tournament. The first time we'd ever been able to do that. 1975 Sertoma All-Star. And the story, maybe a myth, but we're going to go with this story tonight. Spurlock Center was opened in 1975. 1 game was played that year in 1975, and the story that we proposed to people at the time that there was a hurry up to get the facility built so Dan Helm could play his last game there. And so we refer to that in our circle as the house that Helm built. I refer to it as the house that Bob built, but we do it that way. And certainly not only was Dan an accomplished player, he was an accomplished student here at Franklin College. And you talk about the balance that is so important in Franklin College in class and out of class. He was a cum laude graduate, a double major. He was a member of the Blue Key National Honor Fraternity, the who's who among students at American colleges and universities. And as a Phi Delta Theta member, he was the all-campus fraternity man of the year. Certainly high praise for a young man and his accomplishments here. But he then left and began the life of service that I think distinguishes Dan more than anything else. He got a master's degree from Indiana University in 1976, was a part of Bob Knight's Hoosiers training staff as a graduate assistant, then spent 3 years in Europe as a professional basketball player, returned to the United States, went to Juniata College in Pennsylvania as an assistant basketball coach, was the head coach and the trainer, record-setting seasons while he was there. He then left to move to Hope College, was a basketball coach, a high school basketball coach in Michigan for 2 years, before in 1996 returning to Pike High School. His love of athletic training and teaching was certainly on display there. Had a very distinguished career for nearly 10 years. Pike High School dedicated its athletic training center to Dan Helm. It's the Dan C. Helm Athletic Training Center. And when you think about the remarks that were made at that particular dedication, the chairman of the Board of Trustees at that induction said, in dedication, this athletic training facility is an honor for Dan Helm because of his positive influence on the students at Pike High School. His legacy will continue for many years to come. Few, if any, people I talk to, few, if any, people I know have an unkind word to say about Dan Helm. The things you hear, quite frankly, we talk about adjectives, we throw them out, we talk about things like a great teammate, a loyal teammate, selfless, devoted, a leader to his friends, to his students, to his players. He was devoted, he was caring, he was compassionate, he was loved by all, impacted the lives of everyone with whom he came in contact. And for his transformational play at Franklin College and his accomplishments on the court and the classroom and his immeasurable impact on the lives of the students that he touched, and his family and his friends, it's my honor, on behalf of the selection committee at Franklin College, it's a pleasure to formally induct Dan Helm into the Franklin College Hall of Fame.